The legend of Deer Woman is a very powerful legend. She is known to protect and grant native women with bravery and fertility, but can also punish cheating men. One such story of Deer Woman involved her catching the eyes of a brave warrior, and when he approached her, she fell in love with him as well, and so by the end of the summer, with both parents' permission, they were married. When it came time to consummate their marriage, she refused to take off her moccasins. Her husband didn't understand why, but because he loved her so, he granted her wish and they went on to make love. Several months went by. Deer Woman and her husband had twins, and there was word of strange wolf-like creatures stomping other tribes' men to death. Parents made sure their children were back in their teepees or huts after sundown. Warriors stood guard, but on this particular night, the husband noticed his wife had gone outside. But this feeling that came over him was much different than before, so he told his father and mother to watch the children, so he could go find his wife. He set out to find her. As he came upon a camp, he noticed dancing, singing, and laughter. He walked up and saw his wife. Again his gaze was drawn to her eyes, but out of the corner of his eyes, he could see that no one was wearing their moccasins. Instead of feet, he saw hooves. He yelled to his wife and everyone in the camp stopped dancing. The young woman tried to reason with her husband out of fear of what would happen next. When he threatened his wife and her tribe, the wife began to cry, and said, "I am sorry, my dear husband, that this is my and soon our children's goodbye." And with that the husband was swarmed in darkness. The next morning, his tribe had sent out 6 of their strongest warriors to go find the young couple. They came upon the camp, and it was there that they found the horrific scene. Deer Woman and her tribe had stomped her beloved husband to death. Soon after 2 more warriors ran up and told them how Deer Woman and her husband's children were gone as well. Deer Woman and her children were never heard from again. They say that if you go to the area of the camp, you can see her prints with 2 other sets of prints. Could this be her and her children roaming the place they once called home?
The last story, which take place in modern times, is as told. Deer Woman was called upon by a young woman in the Ojibwe tribe. The young maiden told of how she had married her childhood love, only to be beaten on their wedding night, and every night since then. Not only was the poor woman suffering from abuse, her husband was cheating on her as well. Deer Woman asked if her family had done anything to stop the abuse, and when the woman said that her family and husband's family won't do anything, the Deer Woman was angered by the thought that not even the woman's family or in-laws would help her. She hugged the woman and told that she will handle it. After she sent the woman to a safe place, Deer Woman got to work and transformed herself to an image that the husband would go after. She came upon the bar that the wife said that her husband frequents. She walked in and caught the husband's eye. Once she knew she had him, she walked towards and flirted with him until he agreed to go to a more private place for more fun. Once they reached a wooded area, Deer Woman let the man's hand go, and started to dance. He was so mesmerized by her dance, he didn't notice her feet until it was too late. By the time he realized what was happening, Deer Woman was on top of him. She held him down and asked why he would beat a woman he married. He tried to use any excuse he could think of, but Deer Woman was not having it. She bit his nose and asked him again why he would beat his wife. When he knew that he wasn't going to get away, he started talking about how he owned his wife now, that she was his slave and that she's too stupid. Realize he doesn't love her. Before he could finish, Deer Woman kicked him in the face with her sharp-pointed hooves that a large cut was visible and bleeding. After she cut him, she replied with, "I have a surprise for you. She will bring judgment upon for which I will act out for her, and so she can witness the abuse you handed her." And with that his wife walked out of the shadows with a smile so evil, it scared him. "Hello, beloved. I see you have met my savior, a savior who protects women, and unleashes the axe against those who have wronged women in life." She stared at him as he begged for forgiveness. "I am so sorry, my wife, my beautiful wife. I realize that I've been in the wrong for the last 5 years. Please let me go, and I will treat you with love and respect." He whimpered. The wife ignored his pleas and looked at Deer Woman. Deer Woman knew the judgment already. The wife thanked her and walked away with Deer Woman, saying, "Your life will be filled with love, laughter, and the sounds of tiny feet running through your home. With my blessing, you will live with this for the rest of your life. Goodbye, brave woman." As the wife walked away, she heard her now ex-husband's screams filling the night air. 5 years later, the wife was now remarried to a man who loves her and respects her. Her new husband's family treats her as if she's their own daughter. They have 3 kids, who are triplets. She no longer speaks to her family because they did not help her, while her ex-husband has to walk around for the rest of his life with the many scars that was inflicted by Dear Woman. Most notably was the large imprint of deer hooves on both hands. No woman wanted him now. His family had shamed him, and he has to be forever tortured by the sight of his former wife in a happy and loving marriage. Dear Woman has never been seen in that village again, but her voice is often heard in the woods, and every once in a while when posters of missing and murdered indigenous women are stapled up, she takes them in the middle of the night, when everyone is asleep, to find them for herself to bring them home.